What is Deion Sanders' status? What is it?
I'm curious how much Jerry Jones would want him back in Dallas. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. He's done a terrific job at CU. Again, I know a lot of people get tired of hearing about CU and about Deion. They were horrible before he got there. Right now, they weren't great this past year, but they were so much better. I mean, they made it.
There was no pulse when Deion showed up, and now it's a vibrant situation. And on top of it, I don't know if you saw the Instagram post that Deion put up yesterday. He was told his team got over a 3.0 GPA, and that is as significant as anything else that I know that Deion wants to have talked about his program. The question is, though, Jerry did reach out to him for a reason. It wasn't just to say, do you got any extra blenders for me? You know what I mean? Like there's something in terms of interest there. It got out as well. But I guess my question is, like, what is it? He's 2 years into a deal. Are they talking about extending him? I mean, because it sounded like he was telling us when he was here 3 weeks ago on the show that basically there is a conversation going on about extending him. So
at CU?
Yeah, that's
of course
what he mentioned.
There is. I mean, if Deion left, I feel like you're almost starting all over again, because no coach I can think of who's coaching in college football right now is more tied into the identity of the program than Deion Sanders. With all respect to the two coaches, those programs were not bad when they got there. His program was atrocious. His program now is a TV ratings monster. His program can get kids to come on recruiting visits that probably couldn't have showed you where Boulder, Colorado is on the map, or even where Colorado is in terms of because there was no reason to know it if you're a college football prospect.
Right. Because
it hadn't been good in 20 plus years. So I think that, again, if you're the AD there, who Rick George, who has been a real good partner for Deion and really brought Deion there, and I would see no reason why whatever they can do to keep him, they're gonna, I'm sure, try to do. The question ultimately, and I've had this in the back of my head and talked about it at times, is obviously Shador's leaving, Travis Hunter's leaving, Shiloh's leaving. Then you have the Cam Silman-Craig, who is a terrific defensive back who was with Deion in high school and then followed him to Jackson State and then followed him again. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of really good players who are essentially family to him who are also moving on. So does this chapter is closed? And I was there for the Alamo Bowl and saw some of just how hard it was for them to realize this is the last one, this is the last ride. So, going into the NFL, if he can be part of that next chapter, I'm sure that would be tempting.
No, of course, and I understand that, but the NFL is it's a different ball of wax in the fact that there's no guarantee that he could run it back with the same. There's no way he's going to get Shador and Travis Hunter together.
Can he get one of them?
Right, just even one of them. And so there's also a way that I think Deion would kind of like to prove I can build the program without my literal kids and other people who I consider kids.
To stay at CU.
That's what I'm saying. And plus, on top of it, it's part of the reason why Bill also has gone to UNC. You win the ACC, you've got a seat at the playoffs, right? You win the Big 12, you've got a seat in the playoffs. And Deion almost did it this year.
But you know Deion way better than I do. I don't think Deion feels like he needs to prove anything to anybody. That doesn't strike me as that's the way he's wired.
I understand that, but when you're looking at pros and cons on a list here, right? Which is what you write down. What do I do if there is an opportunity in Dallas? I think on a pro side of things, it's like I stay here, I continue building something, and I become a national champion head coach here. And he's only is Deion 60? Is he pushing 60? I think he's in his late 50s.
Yeah, he's in his late 50s. So, I would have thought.
Yeah, 57.
The NFL's there too. I mean, Dallas might not be there.
As somebody who works in college football, I think it would be great if he stayed. as somebody who's just thinking as a parent, and you see, like, again, and I don't know if he has the opportunity to connect, to coach with Shador at the next step. That is his son and everything, and you can only have one quarterback.
Yes.
And everything about that. I don't think, I don't think there's any more he would need to prove. Anybody who hasn't been wowed by what he's done in 2 years, they're not going to, no matter what he does, he could get them to the playoff. And I don't think it'd be any more impressive than what he's already done.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
going to the playoffs and
12 teams make the playoff. Now, if he wins a national title, different story. But if he goes in there like SMU or you pick the school, I mean, yeah, that's another step. But
I see.
I think to go from one win before he got there to get them, to into the top 25 in 2 years, into, borderline, make it to the conference title game. They didn't. But to me, that's the bigger step than to make a 12-team playoff, because they were really close to making the 12-team playoff. I would just think for if the chance is there to coach in the NFL and to be an NFL head coach, then it's a different thing. I guess to prove that, to himself or whatever, to run an NFL team.
Yes.
On that stage, I feel like is probably very, compelling. To stay there, I mean, yeah, it would be great for CU and it'd be great for college football. I don't think he has anything. I don't think there's that much more you need to prove.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.